Imagine a world where having lots of money isn't just about living well yourself, but making sure your kids and even their kids have a super luxurious life too. That's the story of these 8 richest families in America. They've figured out the secret to not just being rich, but passing down a life of luxury for ages to come. Number 8. The Wertheimer family. With a combined net worth of a whopping $65.6 billion, the Wertheimers show us how to make tons of money by using the brilliance of others. Their lavish lifestyle mirrors their wise financial decisions and strategic moves that propelled them to impressive wealth. The story starts in 1920 when Pierre Wertheimer partnered with emerging fashion icon Coco Chanel. Recognizing her innovative designs and global fashion ambitions, Wertheimer played a key role in expanding Chanel. However, their agreement caused disagreements, as Wertheimer secured 70% of profits, leaving only 10% for Chanel. This unequal deal led to legal disputes, and even during the Nazi occupation of France, Chanel sought retribution. Yet, Pierre Wertheimer's foresight ensured the company's survival through collaborative means. Following Coco Chanel's passing, the Wertheimer family gained complete control, leveraging their understanding of the luxury market. Under Pierre's grandsons, Elaine and Gerard, the family's wealth grew through wise investments in luxury vineyards and horse breeding facilities globally. Number 7. The Mars family. You might have heard that dentists don't really like this family, but kids absolutely adore them. Just think about those delicious Snickers, Twix, and Mars bars. Those treats add up to a gigantic $94 billion business. The sweet story began way back in 1911 when Franklin Mars and his second wife started crafting candies. Although their first candy venture didn't do well due to the First World War, it laid the foundation for what later evolved into the Mars candy business. Nowadays, Mars is about more than just candies that might give you cavities. They've gone beyond that and are even making things for pets. They invested nearly $9 billion into this pet project, and guess what? It turned out to be a huge success. The Mars company is now valued at around $40.5 billion, and they have a whopping 130,000 employees all over the world. Even though the Mars family is pretty impressive, just wait until you hear about the families that are coming up next. They're about to take the idea of being rich to a whole new level. Number 6. The Bettencourt family. Among wealthy families, the Bettencourt breaks expectations. Instead of a male leader, it was Liliane Bettencourt who took her family to incredible wealth. Originating from a noble background dating back to the 14th century, Liliane's influence changed the family's fortunes. Her legacy is full of accomplishments. When she passed away in 2017, Liliane Bettencourt was the richest woman globally, with a fortune of $44.3 billion. Today, the family's wealth is a stunning $92.7 billion, primarily from the L'Oréal Cosmetics company. The family's empire is now led by Liliane's daughter, Françoise Bettencourt-Meyers. Following her mother's path, she inherited significant wealth and is among the world's top 10 richest individuals, with a net worth of $92 billion. Surprisingly, even though they have a lot of money, the Bettencourt family stays down to earth. They live in big, fancy houses, drive great cars, and enjoy the good things in life. But they avoid being in the public eye on purpose, valuing the peaceful life that $92.7 billion can buy. When compared to the next family we'll talk about, the Bettencourts are good at managing their money, even if they have a bit less of it. Number 5. The Slim family. Carlos Slim Helú, often likened to Warren Buffett in Mexico, boasts a fortune exceeding $95.1 billion. Despite their vast wealth, the Slim family opts for a simpler lifestyle. Carlos Slim, as the family's head, chooses a regular way of living. He resides in a basic 6-bedroom house he bought years ago while building his wealth. he intentionally keeps his monthly earnings at $24,000, avoiding extravagant spending. Carlo's journey began with selling candies and drinks to friends at age 10. However, his substantial wealth came from América Móvil, Mexico's largest mobile phone company, valued at around $70.5 billion. While succeeding in various investments, Carlos Slim allocates a significant portion of his income to charitable causes, particularly education, arts, and sports in Mexico. Number 4. The Koch family. In a world where living well is connected to luxury, the Koch family shines as a symbol of wealth. Their incredible net worth goes beyond $100 billion, a sign of their vast business empire that covers many industries, like energy and manufacturing. Their most significant business, Koch Industries, is America's largest private company and one of the world's biggest oil producers. The Koch family's impact isn't limited to business. They're also influential in U.S. politics. Charles and David Koch are known for their substantial support against climate change laws and for donating heavily to the Republican Party. In the last 10 years alone, their donations reached an incredible $1.5 billion. Besides their business and political pursuits, the Kochs are famous for their love of fine art. They've collected valuable pieces by famous artists like Monet and Picasso, turning their homes into private art galleries. An example of their wealth is their purchase of an original Billy the Kid photo for a whopping $2.3 million. Number 3. The Arnold family. The Arnold family is known for having lots of money and living a very fancy life. They are important in business and fashion. Bernard Arnold leads them, and he is the richest person in the world. Altogether, their money is around $240 billion. It all started in France when Bernard took over his dad's building company in the 1970s. He had big ideas and was good at business, so the family became very successful. With Bernard's help, they got into making expensive things. Their biggest business is LVMH, Moet, Hennessy, Louis Vuitton, which has famous brands like Louis Vuitton and Dior. This made Arnold very important in that industry. Besides being rich, the Arnold family likes buying big things like an old castle and palace. These things are worth lots of money, like $220 million. But their real love is yachts. They own yacht-making companies and a super fancy yacht called Symphony, which is worth $115 million. They also have fancy hotels and their own private island. Interestingly, they don't own private airplanes because they care about the environment. Even though they live rich lives, they give a lot of money to help others. Bernard donated $234 million to fix a church and $11 million to stop fires in the Amazon jungle. Number 2. The Walton family. Have you ever wondered what makes a place in the United States become a city? It's not just about size or government stuff. It's also about whether there's a Walmart around. Those massive stores have taken over the whole country. And guess what? The Walton family that owns Walmart has become incredibly wealthy. This family's story began with a man named Sam Walton, who started Walmart back in 1962. Nowadays, Walmart has over 11,000 stores in 27 different countries. And guess what? The Walton family is worth more than an astonishing $250 billion. They're always on the list of the richest families in the entire world. Even though they've got so much money, the Waltons act like regular folks. But sometimes, they do like to treat themselves. One of Sam Walton's daughters, Alice, has a passion for art. She even opened a big museum called the Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in Arkansas. She didn't mind spending a whopping $44.4 million on a painting by a famous artist named Georgia O'Keeffe. Number 1. The Rothschild family. When people say your family does secret things and crazy stuff like ruling the world, it's because you're the richest family. The Rothschilds have $1.2 trillion, so they are super rich. It's like they're the bad guys in stories. But when you're really rich, You don't care about what people say, even if they're not making sense. The Rothschild family started a long time ago in Germany with Mayer Amschel Rothschild. They were good at money and became famous in Europe. They knew how to handle money during hard times and got a good reputation. Now they own parts of almost every big business in the world. They do banking, mining, and building things. They pick where to put their money very carefully. They have huge mining companies like Glencore, which is worth $127.5 billion, and Rio Tinto, worth $103 billion. They also have oil and gas companies worth $1.4 billion. They have other things too, like RET Capital Partners, worth $7.7 billion, and La Champagne Financière, which might be worth around $121 billion. But they also like art. They have art worth more than $2 billion. And they have a lot of buildings, like Chateau Mouton Rothschild and Waddesdon Manor. They also have a fancy boat, but mostly they're not flashy. They're different from the richest family, who like to show off. Be sure to check out our next video on the richest family in the UAE. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.